What types of corruption remain most rampant in Thailand? What's the most problematic?
From our statistics that we are working on, we still believe that public procurement is the major problematic in corruption of our country. We cannot say that we success in that. We think we have done a lot in order to show that Thailand is a good country that you can come to live, or you can come to visit, or you might come to put your money in there to invest in our country.
Swadika, I'm your host, Pla Thirakalsan, and welcome to Thailand Today. Today we're here at the Office of the National Anti-Corruption Commission of Thailand, or NACC, an independent agency that was established in 1999 to suppress and prevent corruption. The organization plays a key role when it comes to Thailand's economic development in terms of domestic and foreign investment by creating a safe environment that is conducive for doing business in Thailand. Today we speak to NACC President Police General Wacharaphol Prasan Rajagit. Swadika, and thank you for having us. Let's give our viewers first an overview of the work that is done by the NACC. What are the core roles and responsibilities of the NACC, especially what is the core mission?
Our main function is dealing with the prevention and suppression of corruption in Thailand. That we can summarize our work into 4 significant roles. The first one is the suppression of corruption. We did it through the investigation, and then we offer opinion or judgment in case of the political office holder or senior position holders and corrupt government official, as well as in case of non-compliance to the established ethical standards or being unusually wealthy. The second one is the examining assets of those political office holders and high-ranking government officials by ensuring that they submit their list of personal assets and liability within the specific time frame. Then we will disclose to the public for scrutiny, as well as to deter high-level government officials from abusing their powers in a dishonest manner, such as requesting for bribery, etc. The third one is the prevention of corruption. We do it by proposing measures to improve government performance and mechanisms to combat corruption in both the public and private sectors, as well as we suggesting the improvement to the government to issue law and regulation to reduce the likelihoods of corruption. What we're doing by develop and propose legislative amendment, regulation and measure to improve public administration and deter corruption risks. By reaching out to the public, including young children, to promote the value of integrity and public participation, to enable the people to report corruption and act as a watchdog against corruption.
What types of corruption remain the most rampant in Thailand? What's the most problematic?
From our statistics that we are working on, we still believe that public procurement is the major problematic in corruption of our country, especially the procurement in the local administrative organization, which is a small organization. Throughout the country, more than 5,000. It doesn't mean that 5,000 of them corrupt.
Right.
Maybe only a few. But how can we deter them from not doing some corruption? That if we can able to speed up the investigation and bring them to justice, it will be a big deterrence from those who have not committed. We used to have problem because we don't have enough manpower to do investigation throughout the country. We already have headquarters in Bangkok, but now during the last 5 years, we obtained more personnel from the government. So now we spread out our office throughout the 26 provinces throughout the country. Now we are able to move into any suspicious cases, and we can complete as quick as we can at the moment. And we believe that in the future, public procurement dealing with the local administrative organization will be less problematic.
Now, in terms of bribes and government officials, what measures are being carried out to ensure that government officials don't take bribes? And what does the investigation process looks like?
One of the issues that we encourage and the government encourage to do is that we try to put some mechanism about integrity and transparency assessment into our public work. This assessment program is encouraged by the government. So if every public office they are more concerned about integrity and transparency while they're performing the service to the public, I think it will turn out to be something to be less problematic and there will be less corruption in the future.
In terms of the Thai people's perception of corruption in Thailand, what is the NACC doing to change the perception of Thai people and corruption?
Oh, we have several programs. One thing we have to do both from the preventive side. First, from the preventive side, we work with the education ministry. We have the anti-corruption curriculum. With this curriculum, we work with the Ministry of Education, and we have the subject to teach in the school about how to teach them to learn about duty, responsibility, how they can distinguish about the individual interest or public interest. Who hope that when they grow up, they will be more responsible people and know their work, know their duty for the public.
So it's basically giving them the education since they're young, so they understand the concept of it since they're in school. Now, what are the principles for NACC when it comes to preventing bribery? Like, is there like a risk assessment that is usually carried out? For example, in procurement projects?
Yes, when you're talking about the issue, we think of two sides. There will be one who giving, one who receiving. Right. So one who giving is very much important also. So you do for the supply side. So for the supply side, we have to have the program. Encourage those big companies. We have the project to encourage them to do that.
What are the NACC's principles when it comes to preventing bribery?
As I mentioned that in corruption issue, there are two sides in terms of those who giving and those who receiving. But for those who giving, especially for the big business, big company that who want to get government projects, NACC have published what we call the guideline to provide a framework for legal persons to develop appropriate internal control measures in conformity with the laws of NACC and international standards. There are 8 principles provided in this guideline. These principles include, number 1, the strong, visible policy and support from top-level management to fight bribery. We call it tone from the top. They have to serious from the top about fighting bribery. The second one is the risk assessment to effectively identify and evaluate exposure of bribery. The third one is the enhanced and detailed measure for high risk and vulnerable areas. The fourth one is the application of anti-bribery measures to business partners. The 5, accurate books and accounting records. And number 6 is the human resource management policies that complementary to the anti-bribery measures. Number 7 is the communication mechanism that encourage the reporting of suspicious bribery. And the last one is the periodic review and evaluation of anti-bribery prevention measure and their effectiveness.
Can you point to any specific examples where NACC's policies or programs have been applied and what the results were like?
In 2017, the NACC has issued a notification of the National Anti-Corruption Commission on guidelines on appropriate internal control measure for juristic person to prevent the grant of property or other benefit to state officials, foreign public official or agent of public international organization. According to this notification, we encourage the business entity to establish internal control measures to prevent bribery by adopting the NACC a principle prescribed in our guideline. Since then, we have seen positive changes in Thailand as a large number of companies as well as state-owned enterprise have increasingly adopted the anti-bribery mechanism, and they have encouraged their business partner to apply equivalent standard. We hope to see more companies with a large scale or SME join hands to fight against corruption and bribery in order to create a better corporate governance culture and enhance transparency in business environment.
Okay, with that, let's take a short break and we'll be back with more of Thailand Today.
NBT World, a vision of Thailand.
Welcome back to Thailand Today. We continue our discussion with NACC President on the organization's efforts to create a safe environment for business operations in the kingdom. Now, what measures does the NACC carry out to ensure foreign investors that corruption is not rampant in Thailand?
We have been working constantly to enhance our legislations in order to be in line with international standards. In addition to Section 126 of the Organic Acts on Anti-Corruption, which is in compliance with the United Nations Convention Against Corruption or OECD Anti-Bribery Convention, NACC is now conducting a study on a possible non-trial resolution mechanism for legal person to resolve the domestic and foreign bribery cases. A working group has been set up to study the available forms of such mechanism already being used in foreign countries, like deferred prosecution agreement or non-prosecution agreement, with an aim to decide the most feasible form to be applied in accordance with the Thai legal system. And also, we also trying to raising awareness among business and investors in order to raise awareness and promote the NACC new anti-bribery law and guidelines. Many events and seminars were subsequently held not only in Bangkok but also throughout the country. Over the course of this development, we have been working closely with our partners, such as the Thai Private Sector Collective Action Against Corruption, or CAC, the Thai Chamber of Commerce, and the Security Exchange Commission. We would like to note that the CAC is a very good example of the effort and commitment among the private sector in Thailand to collectively fight corruption. Today, 1,245 companies have joined the CAC, and 491 companies have been certified.
Now, you mentioned just now there's collaboration with the UN as well. I understand there's a tool that was developed, the Integrity and Transparency Assessment, or ITA. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, this is a very important project of our government. Actually, we have doing this assessment during the last 10 years. We not initiate this one. I think we learned from the other country. And this assessment, this year we just issued, we have finalized, and this year there is a good report that there are more than, I think, 1.3 million people involved in this project. This project is trying to encourage government office to provide service to the people of Thai, the whole country. There are 8,303 offices that have been in the study. So at the moment, we have the objective of the target that we hope that there is a score on the study that an office, the maximum point, they will get 100 points. But our target is that they will get at 85 points. That means they pass it. At the moment, we set the target for this year that at least 80% of those 8,303 organizations have to pass 85. But it turned out that it's only 70.5 pass it. So there is a lot of work to do for next year. Right. But we hope we can improve the score on ITA. And because ITA, there are involvement in 3 parts. One, there is a study within your own, our own government officer. We have to rating, we have to keep the score. And the second part is that those who we provide the service in the public, they can give the score, whether we do it good work or not a good work. And the third one is the open data, which is very important. It means that everything you have done have to be in terms of electronic, so people can come and learn about it and know about it. So with this assessment, I hope that in the future, government office will provide a better service. When you provide better service to the people, to the public, there will be less corruption in the final.
Greater transparency. You mentioned as well that NACC does a lot of events. This year, as Thailand is the host of APEC, what has the NACC done in terms of that?
Yes. As you mentioned that we're the host of APEC. In APEC, we have 31 economies. And with that, NACC is responsible for one of the conference that involved the organization who responsible for corruption of the 21 economy. So we already have at least 3 conferences in Thailand hosted by NACC. So the first one that we have during February is the workshop on technology for transparency, digital disruption to corruption. We have it virtually on February 14 and 15, 2 days. We have it here, but there are a number of 155 participants and speakers from 17 out of 21 APEC economy, including the participants from international organizations to join us. In the workshop, the objective is to provide the capacity building to the anti-corruption and law enforcement practitioner of APEC member on the use of digital technology to fight corruption and promote transparency. And the second workshop that we just finished is empowering the media inclusion in the fight against corruption. We have it in July 26 and 27 out here, but also we have it online. So 110 participants and speakers from 17 APEC economy, including from the Thai agency and Thai media organization, join in the workshop. In this panel, we discussed the role and the importance of the media in detecting and exposing corruption. We discussed the success factor for effective empowerment of the media and what the challenger and obstacle faced by investigative journalists in conducting investigative reporting and inclusion of female journalists. Right. So these two workshops got a lot of success. In the middle of this month, we will host what we call the ACTWG, the working group in anti-corruption of the APEC communities. We will host it in Chiang Mai. That I have been assigned to be the chair of the meeting in Chiang Mai. At the moment, we got the response from there will be about 30 participants that coming to join us in Chiang Mai. We will be happy to be part of it, and we try to encourage the APEC economies to put more emphasis in terms of anti-corruption procedure, and then we're going to talking about work plan, what we're going to do in the next future.
How does the NACC measure the success of all these programs and policies that are carried out?
I think it's you have to look at how the other countries look at Thailand. We cannot say that we success in that. I think we have done a lot in order to show that Thailand is a good country that you can come to live, or you can come to visit, or you might come to put your money in to invest in our country.
Right.
So you have to check at them. So one of the index that we look at how Thailand can be at level of anti-corruption level. You look at the issue of CPI. That has been it's a study done by Transparency International. The fact that the CPI score of Thailand is not that good. We in the level of about 36, 37 during the last several years. Cannot compare. We are in the middle of the ASEAN country. We have about 10 countries. We are about number 5. But we are trying to improve it. So CPI can be one index to show that what your country are in the level of anti-corruption. It less corruption, but CPI score is not the only index. There are several index that you can use. So that's why, and it's not only that NACC had to be responsible only for the CPI. Every organization, every government organization, every private organization had to be involved. We try to encourage that the government to help. Everybody can help, whether you are private or the government, in order to increase the CPI score. And that will be a challenge for the country.
But like you said, it sounds like involvement from all parties is going to be crucial to the success of eliminating corruption in Thailand. NACC President, thank you so much for having us today. ขอบคุณค่ะ And that was NACC President, Police General Wattaraphol. Thank you so much again for sharing insight into NACC's effort to drive Thailand's anti-corruption goals. And there you have it from the NACC President himself. And that's it for our show today. We broadcast every Friday at 11 p.m. on NBT2 HD and every Saturday at 9:30 p.m. on NBT World, as well as live on our NBT World YouTube channel. Don't forget to like our Facebook page, Thailand Today. Online อันทราธีระเกาสันสวัสดีค่ะ